Good morning, everyone. It's Monday over here in the Netherlands, and I'm starting this week off with a best-of-3 series of Protoss versus Terran. Game number 1 today is on Berlingrad, and in the top left-hand corner, playing with the red Protoss probes from South Korea, we have one of the best Protoss players in the world, and his name is Trap. The opponent, all the way in the opposite corner, playing with the blue Terran SCVs, the number 1 player from China. We're looking at the Time's main command center. For many years, we weren't entirely sure who the best player from China was. I mean, they were pretty good at the game, but they were never quite competitive to the point where they're, winning a Korean tournament. These days, however, Time definitely head and shoulders above all the other players from China. Still a pretty young guy as well, so yeah, he's here to stay at least for the foreseeable future. I mean, unless he decides to quit playing StarCraft, which would kind of suck, but there's no denying that Time is really good. So as I'll be making this video, let me have a quick little look. I should probably have prepared this in advance, but anyways, Time is, according to LowkoTV, considered to be the rank 29 in the world, and Trap apparently considered to be the rank 15, so 1-5. When it comes to the current top 10 for the Korean StarCraft 2 pro players, I was gonna say pros and pro players at the same time. Proers. Anyways, there's a new word. The current top 10, according to LowkoTV, Maru in first place, Dark, Cure, Hero, Rogue, Solar, Zest, Björn, Trap. And then in the number 10 position, at least when it comes to the Korean pros, we have none other than Su. Now, I've already brought up Su in previous casts as well. Su recently came back from his mandatory military service. He's one of my all-time favorite players, just because he's extremely aggressive and he refuses to play late game, which is, kind of the way that I like to play my Zerg units too. The main reason, though, why I refuse to play late game is because I'm not very good at the late game micro. Su just kind of wins before that point in the game, so a little bit of a different reasoning. Anyways, I've been trying to get my hands on Su replays over the last couple of days, but sadly, none of them are publicly available just yet. Although I've heard he's playing in a bunch of the Alpha X tournaments soon, or at the very least, he's been participating in the King of Battle qualifiers. I think they will release those replays at some point, so anyways, if you aren't subscribed already, make sure to do so you get notified as soon as those Su replays go up. I'm curious to see where the man is currently at, because considering he just came back, right? So for a lot of players, after they do the mandatory military service, it takes them at least a year or so to get back to their previous skill level, if they even ever get back to that point. But apparently Su, he's already there, which is pretty sick. I know he was playing quite a bit as well. Anyways, this game is not about Su. Why am I talking about Su? Anyways, what do we have right here? We've got ourselves a Twilight Council opener here from Trap, who is just going for the good old conventional. Trap, in general, doesn't play a very spicy style of StarCraft. He's just very good at playing quote-unquote normal, right? He doesn't really have a signature move that some of these other top-tier Protoss players have, but Trap, he's been very successful over the last couple of years, playing what I consider to be very standard games. Now, would you look at that? Time actually, after making a bunch of Marines, now adds on a bunch of Reapers. He hasn't scouted yet in this game whatsoever, and obviously you'd rather have some information. Normally, though, you make the Reaper earlier, right, than this. It's gonna be a little bit strange. Alright. Anyways, I do think they're spotted just now, too. Trap probably also scratching his head. Wait a second, what's going on here? I'm assuming he's gonna use them for scouting? Because they're not very good in straight-up combat. Yeah, unless you can, throw the KD-8 charges, right, the grenades. Usually they're not gonna be that great at combat. Anyways, he doesn't really have to concern himself with all too much, though. Hellion coming out right now, too. This is a very conventional opener here from Trap. Triple gateway with blink, probably into an expansion here pretty soon. Alright. Hellions, or Hellion, rather, against it. Okay, well, this is not gonna happen. Nice wall-off right here. At the same time, though, the Reapers do pop into the main base, and even though they don't go really far at all, there's still a little nuke for them to chill and hang out and scout the high ground. And at this point, he's seen, 3 gateways in total. Plus, I guess, the Twilight Council, so he knows at this point that it's very likely going to be a pretty quick third command center, or I guess Protoss command center. A very quick third nexus here, too. Time scouts it out, knows what's up, and he should be able to do whatever he likes. So, what exactly is the follow-up going to be right now? Well, most of the time, we don't really see Terrans getting aggressive until Stimpak, Combat Shield, and +1 infantry weapons are done. Engineering Bay here seems a little bit late to me. There's also no second tech lab available. This is actually a very quick double racks, into a very late starport here. So I think that Time probably wants to get, I don't know, a little bit adventurous here once Stimpak finishes, because otherwise his next move out is going to be super late. And considering there's no third command center to be seen anywhere, I think he's going to go for a pretty quick move here pretty soon. Trap at this point, though, has finished up his blink. Observer goes across the map as well to provide that high ground vision. There's actually already an observer on the other side. No more prism or anything like that, so Trap is not going to be too aggressive. But he definitely wants to use the blink to his advantage, of course. So Stimpack is done. There's no Medivac or anything along those lines out just yet. Love the positioning right here on the tank, by the way. Kind of difficult to pick that one off. Trap scouting around. Alright. He's going to try and blink over here. Fair enough. 2 SCVs? 3 SCVs? Needs to wait until blink is off cooldown once again. Alright, he's going to be able to use that. A little bit of hull damage taken right here on some of the Stalkers, but nothing all too crazy. I like this opener right here from Time, though. Yeah, something a little bit out of the ordinary. Okay, Stalkers once again trying to force this army to go back home right now. Is he going to target fire down the tech lab? Most of the time they will, but I guess he's a little bit concerned. Yeah, right now he also sees that the Terran army is moving across. Instead, he decides to go for the SCVs here, which makes a lot of sense. A recall is forced. Batteries are not done at the third base of the Protoss player just yet, so he needs to buy a little bit more time against... Sorry. Against time he needs to buy more time. Sorry. Anyways, siege tanks right here in a very dangerous spot. This is super hard to break. Honestly, that third base might be in some trouble here, yeah. Immortal is going to come out pretty soon. Immortal obviously is going to be fantastic against those siege tanks, but I think by the time that it pops, the third Nexus is already done for. This is something that Time needed to deal damage with, though, because obviously if he didn't, then he would be very far behind. No third command center to be seen anywhere just yet. Okay, he decides to go for one shot right there on the... Oh, the siege tank. Siege tank does stay alive by the skin of its teeth. Only 5 health remains, but at this point it's going to be hard to close that distance. Maybe one Stalker is going to be brave enough to target fire all of this down. Anyways. Now suddenly, with this high ground vision over here that Medivac is providing, a bunch of the very important tech structures here of the Terran, of the Protoss are being killed. Cybercore already done, so that means, well, no more Stalkers, right? Like, Stalkers are going to be pretty important. Is he going to be able to break through this? Immortal target firing down? Hello? Okay, yeah. He is going to be able to, at the very least, stay alive, but that was almost an absolute disaster. When Blink didn't, wasn't really an option anymore because he couldn't warp in any additional Stalkers. Charge, obviously, would be fantastic to have, but yeah, if you can only make Zealots and you don't have Charge done. It could have accidentally been GG right then and there. Time certainly creating a nice advantage for himself, but obviously his third command center here is quite late. Third Nexus, though, reacquired at the exact same position. And Time is going to continue putting down the pressure. At this point, there is a prism moving out. 4 Zealots inside of it as well. I would love to see a shield battery over here, man. I think it's really critical. Yeah, it's not going to finish in time right now. Okay, good snipe right there once again by the Chinese Terran player. Second Archon also goes down easy peasy. Widowmines just get into position. Immortal gets picked off, and this is looking mighty dire right now here for our Protoss. Battery overcharge is available, but he's just going to target fire down the battery and just, well, apparently try and just go into the natural expo. Okay, Widowmines over there. Trying to go for that juicy hit on all of those Zealots. Not quite getting it. At the same time, oh my god, there is actually a High Templar in there too. Ooh, okay, the High Templar here is actually very... Oh my god, nope! Land it! Land it! Land... Oh my god! Okay. That is one way to come back. I thought it was 4 Zealots in that thing. I thought it was 4 Zealots in that prism. But apparently it was 3 Zealots together with 1 High Templar. Alright, that was 19 SCVs gone in a heartbeat. Trap also managed to stay alive. Time was pushing into the natural for the win, but now all of a sudden... Yeah, he's gonna be... Well, he's gonna continue being aggressive here, but this situation is significantly harder to read. Third command center finally gonna float down towards the low ground. Can we do some feedbacks or storms or something? Maybe some Stalkers underneath? I mean, there's no anti-air here other than... Okay, this is about to get really awkward. Yeah, he's just gonna go straight for the main base. There's nothing available here in the main base for the Protoss player either. Prism still, okay, looping around the bases. Feel like Time could have done a little bit more damage there, but obviously probably expected a few of those Terran units to be available, or Protoss units to be available as well. Recall is used! Only a handful of units do get a recall, but the Nexus, okay, did go down. Alright. Suddenly we find ourselves in a very scrappy game. This seemed like a very clean time victory. Okay. Ooh. Another nice storm over there, though. I actually really like the 3 zealots right there together with 1 High Templar. What do you call a zealot that smokes weed, by the way? A High Templar. Hey, there it is. No, but I do think Trap can actually continue pushing here. He still has. Yeah, he still has 3 full, well, pretty much full energy High Templars right over there. They've got a couple of storms available each. What seemed like an easy win right there for Time is now suddenly turning into a bit of a disaster. He does have a large army available. Oh my god, the Ghost coming in from the side as well. Hitting the EMP right there on those High Templar. Water balloons are being thrown, but that doesn't really deal a whole lot of damage. And now suddenly what seemed like an easy win here for Time, for Trap rather, is turning into an advantage here for Time. What is this game? Alright, this is a very scrappy situation to be in. Like, we're 11 minutes into the game, and neither player really has a good economy. Terran just obviously lost their 3rd command center. Protoss just lost their 3rd base twice. I mean, I guess once was the main, but you got what I'm getting at, right? Like, that was not a very good set of exchanges for either player. And who's winning this right now? Oh my god, we're gonna go to the other side of the map once again. Widow Mines. Okay, good pickups right there by Trap. Keeping the majority of those units up. Batteries are finishing. Yeah, battery overcharge already used. Careful, careful. Yep, pick it up. Makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Alright. That EMP right there from Time was absolutely critical. Time, by the way, once again, starting up the 3rd command center on the 3rd command center location. His main base is starting to run out. Neither player really brave enough to add on any additional workers here. Is there enough for the Protoss player to defend? I think there might just be. Terran doesn't know if there's any High Templar, right? Like, that's the tricky part. You could always expect the High Templar to pop out of the prism. I guess at this point he knows that the units are loaded in there, so he doesn't, you know, he doesn't have any more room inside of that prism either. But it is something to keep in mind because one storm can change this battle very quickly. Most of the Medivacs right now out of energy as well. There's now more Medivacs available, though, than Terran units on the ground. At the very least, everyone gets their private plane, but I think it might be time to back off for a little bit. Time. Nice pickup micro. Very nice pickup micro right there by Trap. That prism has been the bane of his existence. I wonder if that's the reason why he's adding on 1 Viking at this point. Okay, well, doesn't matter anymore. Either way, even though he did eventually get that warp prism, it did cost him quite a few units too. Trap, once again, looking to go across the map. Doesn't have a prism, though, to, well, retreat with, right? Or to warp in reinforcements with either, so he needs to be very careful. Some energy available on those High Templar is nice. The 1-1 upgrades here for Time are actually really helpful. I mean, I guess the Protoss only has a couple of high-hitting units. Okay, good Storm Dodge right there. Still walks at least a couple of the units into it. Okay, I think there's 1 more Storm available here. 3rd command center did finish up. Storm? No, I would have stormed that. I would have gotten greedy. I would have stormed that. Just to try and get those workers. But I guess having to storm around for the actual battle might be more helpful. Feedback right there on one of the ghosts. That shouldn't really happen. EMP obviously has more range, but hey, if you can get it, pretty helpful. Alright, Time instead decides to pick up. Go for the other side. Trap at this point, still not adding on any additional workers, right? I mean, he, doesn't even really have mineral fields to mine from either. Okay, instead he decides to go for the base here at the 12 o'clock position. But this is a dangerous location for him to put that down. I mean, they're both trying to expand towards each other, right? I mean, they don't really want to, but they don't really have much of an option either. Going for this one, I guess, is a choice, but... Anyways, this time around, we don't have 3 Zealots with 1 High Templar. We have 3 High Templar with 1 Zealot. Not exactly sure how this is gonna work out, but we're doing more Storm Drops, and I'm here for it. I love Storm Drops, they're so cool. Alright, good scout right here by Time. He's finally mining his own 3rd command center, though. Yeah, Trap didn't realize that this base was no longer in this position, so... It's gonna have to go all the way around. I guess protecting this one here from storm drops is technically a bit easier, although Protoss could still come in from the north. Careful, trap. Don't lose the prism. Okay. He sees the army moving, so he's not gonna lose the prism. Thought for a second he was gonna fly that warp prism right there over a bunch of marines and a ghost. Not ideal. Alright. Yeah, I think the prism wants to go in all the way from the north, although he could just try and storm this army. Yeah, Time sees it though, and he decides to back off. A couple of units are set up around the map. Good force field, okay. Nice EMP as well though. The sentries are without energy right now. We're now talking 6 High Templar though, with storm energy. And the Terran army really isn't that big. That being said, it is 95 supply, which is 10 supply more than that of the Protoss. Good EMPs once again. I love the EMPs here. Okay, okay. Careful, 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 careful! Oh my god, don't lose it! Okay. Here we go. Decides to move in. Needs to be careful though. Storm number 1 goes down. Time has set up a minefield over here as well, so if those zealots charge forward, they're going to be dragged over the Widow Mines, which is not what you want. Same time, a little bit of counterattack damage is being done, but nothing all too crazy. Okay, nice. Nice blinks over there. Very nice blinks. Good dodges right there by Time on the storm as well, though. Okay. Not a ghost, as you may have noticed. Just died. Hoarding all of the audio. Good EMP once again, though. Protoss trying to split to the best of their abilities, but this Terran army is looking mighty strong. Time now with near 20 supply advantage. I think he's slowly doing it. Good set of force fields right over there, though, making it hard for those Terran units to really go in. Once again, a feedback right there, finishing off another Terran unit. Yeah, he wants to kill this base really badly. Neither player really has added on a whole lot of workers at all, right? But having this 4th base up and running is huge. I mean, yeah, look at this, right? We're now talking 30 SCVs on just 8 mineral patches, which is really not that great. All Trap needs to do, I think he's playing a little bit overly aggressive, to be honest. He should probably back off and just try and mine out the base to the best of his abilities. I mean, at this point, look at the income difference. He's, well, essentially mining like 6 additional zealots a minute, right? That's huge. Anyways, main command center has moved on over. Obviously, we know everything. Trap doesn't. I would love to see some of those zealots making a way across. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. It's unlikely that Terran would take this base, so they'll probably go for the base they already tried acquiring a couple of times earlier. Okay, good storm. Huge storm. Oh my god, massive storms. Oof. Yeah, well, that's a little bit too late now, man. Okay. Supply count has been evened up. Couple of Terran units here available. At the same time, Protoss moving over towards the right side of the map too. Zealots here. Okay. Nice split. Very nice split there by Trap. But I like this move right here from Trap as well, though. Moving in. He wants to go for the kill right there on the command center itself. I mean, don't mind if I do, says the Archon over here. He starts shooting his splash damage at as many of those SCVs as he can. Zealots, in the meantime, on the left side of the map also got a couple of kills, it seems, and an additional 16 Terran SCVs end up going down. This is putting Time on a timer. I mean, there's a lot of puns to be made. I'm not even going to try anymore. It's putting Time on a timer, though, because he needs to get something done now with his army. He already was in a pretty desperate spot. Storm coming in. EMP. Are we going to see an EMP? No, we're just going to see the kill on it instead. Good EMPs right there on the main army. Still a lot of Marauders in this force too, but I think there might be a bit too much Protoss right now. I mean, I've said this like 7 times already, though. Both players have been going back and forth against one another for a long while. 19 minutes in, and neither player really has a great economy, but I think Traps might just turn out to be a little bit better. Still, Time is mining a base. That's important. Trap once more. Ready to go in for the kill. This is the 3rd time, though, and at this point, okay, Mr. Time sees that it's not gonna happen. He realizes, okay, my army is too small, my economy is too small. I'm gonna be forced to tap out. But that was an awesome back and forth in game number 1. Game 2. We find ourselves on 2,000 atmospheres. I wonder how many games I've casted on 2,000 atmos. At least 100. Probably more. I wouldn't be surprised if it's at least, I don't know, 250 or so. Because this map, it seems to come up in pretty much every single series that I've casted. And the map has been around for, well, over a year now. I think it was April 2021. Hold up, let me look it up. 2000, or ladder maps, StarCraft 2. I'm pretty sure it got introduced 2 seasons ago. It's made by the Music 246, we know that much. And it's been used on the StarCraft 2 ladder since the 6th of April 2021. That's a good map. But I would like to see some, you know, some changes. Alright. Are we going to open up with a Reaper this time around, or are we once again going to go Marines first and then into a couple of Reapers? I actually really like that opener that Time was going for. Obviously catching the Protoss player off guard there. I think if Trap would have decided to try and hold on to the third base even more, he would have probably just lost the game right then and there, right? I mean, that was if it wasn't for that Storm drop, I think that Trap actually would have lost that game right after the opener. Time just didn't expect there to be 3 Zealots and a High Templar in that prison, right? Like, normally it's... That's, I guess, the reason why you bring a High Templar, just in case the SCVs all, you know, run together and rip up like that. It's kind of beautiful. Okay, so Marine into a reactor once again. Yeah, I would like to see him execute the exact same timing. See how Trap handles it this time around. Are we gonna go Twilight Council once more, Mr. Trap? We'll have to wait. He's going for a Stalker first. When he gets 100 gas here, when he's done making units, he'll eventually put down his tech structure of choice, be it a Robo, a Twilight Council, or, of course, a Stargate. It's gonna be the Twilight Council. Yeah, Trap likes to do the same thing over and over and over again. A lot of the StarCraft 2 players at the tippity top of the level have their own, like, signature playstyle, the thing that they do really, really well. I don't mean this with any disrespect, but, like, Trap doesn't really have one of those signature moves. He just plays quintessential normal StarCraft. Yes, look at that. It's not a misclick. He's doing the exact same opener once again. Huh. So Time going for 3 Marines here. I think that's also the reason why Trap decided to go for a Stalker first, though, just so he can poke right here. Anyways, the 2 Reapers are going to be out soon. Hellion will probably try and scout around as well. It's once again the same start here for Trap, and last time this opener didn't really work for him. Okay. Alright. Still getting quite a bit of work in. So, not the greatest trade right there for Trap. But I'm really curious to see what he's going to do differently here against that exact same opener here. Because he's seen the additional Reapers. I don't know if seeing the Reapers alone is enough indication for you to go ahead and, you know, assume that once again Time is going to go for the same push. Is that spotted? Oh my god, he did see that, yeah. Alright, so at the very least he now knows that there's also a pylon on his side of the map. Reaper goes into the main base. Oh, beautiful Trap. Ooh, really nice. Trap making a trap. Huh. That was really pretty, actually. I don't know if that was intentional or what, but that worked out brilliantly. Hellion at the same time getting some work done over here in the net. Shouldn't really get any kills. Alright. So I think we're once again going to go for a pretty quick third Nexus here. Yeah, we will. It is a Robo, though. A little bit quicker this time around, too. So it's only 2 gateways. So he is making some adjustments. Last time around, I think it was a triple gateway start, right? I think it was triple gateway and then a slightly delayed Robo facility. Or maybe he... I'm not exactly sure. I wasn't paying super close attention right there to the exact opener right there from Trap, but... it's something along those lines. He's going to have slightly less units. But, ooh, he hit a supply block there, too. Alright. Anyways, once more. Double siege tank? No. We're making some adjustments in that department as well. We're gonna go for a more Marauder-heavy style, and this time around Stimpack a little bit quicker, too. Or, sorry, Combat Shields a little bit quicker, too, and then also into the +1 infantry weapon. So Time actually also making some adjustments here. Hitting a supply block of his own. Nice. It's one of the abilities that you can also do as a Terran player with the orbital command. You can scan, you can go for the mule, but you can also drop, I don't know, a supply depot from the high heavens. I never quite understood why Terran has that ability, but Protoss and Zerg don't. I don't know. Apparently, and this is something I only learned like a year or two ago. Let me get the numbers right. A supply depot in StarCraft 2 takes longer to build than a pylon and an overlord. Which is a bit funny. I never quite know why. So a supply depot takes 21 seconds to build. A pylon takes 18 and an overlord also takes 18. So maybe that's the reason why Blizzard decided to give Terran the option to like... But why wasn't it... I don't know. Maybe it was just a remnant from StarCraft 1 or something, and it decided to just, yeah, incorporate it like that in StarCraft 2 as well. But you'd imagine if you're gonna adjust one of those values, you probably also adjust, you know... I don't know, maybe like the Zerg Overlord production time or something, right? Like at this point, that would obviously be broken if you add that into the game, but... It definitely does change the pacing of the matchups. But changing one of the three values? I don't know. I always wonder how deliberate such decisions are as well, right? Like, obviously, a bunch of guys just kind of coded a video game at some point. And maybe they entered some values, and they meant to change it, but they never did, and this is what we're, you know, playing with these days. Maybe it is very deliberate, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bunch of values in the game as well that are just, you know, little remnants of mistakes that, over time, yeah, we've come to accept as normal. Anyways... Both players tiptoeing around each other this match. Not really going for any aggressive move outs here. I mean, finally, maybe Time is wanting to go for a push, but he's got +1. Combat shield, stimpaks, the whole shebang. We've seen this a million times before. Trap at this point, though, has had his start base up and running for forever. He's got Storm done. He's got Blink done. He's got Charge done. He's got basically a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything, all of the time. Sorry. I recently watched Inside again, the Bo Burnham show, for like the 4th time. The songs get stuck in my head, okay? What can I tell you? Time noticing the little shimmer up ahead. Decided to scan, get rid of it. Okay, our first big move out. One good storm and this can be GG. That's not one of them. Marauders don't care that much. Good splits right here by Time. Love the missile turret. Making sure that the observer can't go too far forward. Making sure that the prism can't move in too far either. Forcing the Protoss player here to commit into that fight if he really wants to take it. This time around it is 4 zealots, by the way, in the War Prism. Second Robo facility as well as a Robo Bay coming up right now for Trap, okay. Going into either Colossi or, of course, Disruptors. Terran, once again, adding on pretty quick ghosts. Oh. Good interception right here by Trap. Or, sorry, by Time. Making sure that this doesn't really deal too much damage. Ultimately... Time's army is gonna be very, very strong. But for the time being, at the very least, Trap is, yeah, in the driver's seat of this match. He can do whatever he likes. So apparently what he currently likes doing is go for extended thermal lance. He's chrono boosting out a bunch of Colossi. He's adding on what almost seemed like an Archon there. I was gonna say, using the high Templar, or the high energy Templar, right? Or the high energy, high Templar. There you go. For that is not ideal. We are going to recall the Prism, apparently. Was probably stuck right over here in the bottom left-hand corner. Decided to get it out. But yeah, this is much more of a laid-back game so far. Neither player really committing to anything huge just yet. This has been a development that we've seen in pretty much all the Terran matchups recently, right? Where, yeah, they're more than happy just using that SimCity to their advantage. Sprinkling Widow Mines, Sensor Towers, Missile Turrets, the whole shebang. You just put a couple structures down in really keen positions and suddenly it's hard for the opponent to go in. eventually taking a 4th base. It's been pretty turtly, yeah. I would say over the last half year or so, Terrans have gotten progressively more turtly, which isn't my favorite development, I'll be honest with you. I always like active games, but right now it's been like 10 minutes since we saw much of anything. Protoss is moving in once again, trying to get something done, but... for the most part, he's just, yeah, macroing up himself, going double upgrades. Going for the disruptors, going for a dark shrine, a 5th base, all the way up north. Prism is back in for more, but not gonna happen. That one is gonna be picked off for sure. So what exactly is Time looking for here? Well, he's just trying to go for a maxed out army. He's coming up on his maxed out force very soon. He's also got +2/+2 coming up, but... yeah, it's gonna be hard for him to fight when he doesn't have all of that static defense, right? And all of those units already in position when he is fighting where he doesn't really want to be. So anyways, Planetary Fortress here at the 6 o'clock position for Time is done. Trap apparently not going for the base up here, but goes straight for the one in the top left. I have absolutely no clue why. I guess it's kind of hidden. Sort of hidden. Okay. Finally, Time is apparently happy with the situation that he's got. Oh my god, massive Purification Nova. Snipes all of the ghosts. Good retreating storms right over there as well by Trap. Trap playing his opponent like a fiddle here over the last couple of minutes. That was gorgeous, actually. That was a really good retreating move. It's super hard to pull back like that when you're a Protoss player, but Trap did that wonderfully. Storming in advance, hitting the Disruptor Nova. Okay, Terran is going to finish up 2-2 here. So if he wants to go for an all-out assault, right now would be the time. But the problem is, yeah, he's only got he's only got 2 ghosts right now in the mix. So I don't think he really wants to, which puts Trap in a really good position. Trap just happily macroing up, getting all of the upgrades that he can muster. Static defense is set up in all of the most likely locations to be attacked. High Templar are there. He's got a good amount of eco, maybe not as many probes as, you know, he would maybe like to have. A couple more would be nice, so you can really make sure you have that ton of eco, but... anyways, this time around, the Zealots have been replaced. Not by High Templar, but by Dark Templar. Bunch of invisible men going into the Terran main base here soon enough. Observer here, giving Trap all the vision that he truly needs. Okay, Prism Speed also finished. Yeah, this is where the game always gets a little bit awkward though, right? Because, like, I feel like Protoss is progressively getting stronger here, and Terran's just kind of, like, doing more of the same. I mean, obviously, those upgrades make them stronger too, right? But Trap has just increased his, like, Protoss vocabulary by, like, 7 different units, whereas Terran is still stuck on Marine Marauder Ghost. And I guess Vikings and Medivacs and stuff for support, but feels a little bit different. Anyways, Purification Novas, once again, connecting with some of that Terran army. Vikings up ahead, though, do deal a good amount of damage right there to the Colossi. Without the Colossi or the Disruptors, this Protoss army will die very easily. Once again, good storms right there, hitting both the ground as well as the air units. Colossi still up in the air. Okay. More High Templar coming in from the other bases, more Disruptors. Okay, that's where the army supply from the Protoss player was at. He was setting all of that up defensively. He had like a couple of units sprinkled in all of his exposed bases. And I guess that now allows Trap to go for an all-out assault once again. Yeah, playing a clean game. Not really running into any significant problems. Not really doing anything spicy either. But I think that this game shows that Trap is just a little bit too good for Time at this point in the meta. Hey, if you made it all the way until the end of this video and you enjoyed watching it, please take the 1 second that it takes to hit that like button down below. It really does help. Thank you very much.